Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and honor America and those defending our freedom for the playing of our national anthem by the Nekoosa High School Band under the direction of Ms. Alyssa Tooley. Please remain standing after the national anthem as we welcome the class of 2015 into this gymnasium one last time as students of Nekoosa High School. Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to Nekoosa High School as we honor this fine group of young men and women seated in front of me. During this ceremony, I ask that you try to remain seated as much as possible. If you need to or desire to take pictures, please try to use the aisles. When we get to the distribution of diplomas and so forth, diplomas will be distributed on my left. Students will be walking off the stage that way, so that'll be the best photo area on that side. If you have cell phones that haven't been silenced, I would ask you to do that. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, graduates will receive friends and relatives outside on the main sidewalk area and the lawn. Our ceremony today is being recorded by River City's Community Access. That video production will be aired Friday, June 5th at 2 p.m. and Saturday, June 6th at 12:30 p.m. on Solaris High Definition Channel 3 and Charter Cable 985. It will also be available on demand by Wednesday on River City's Community Access website at rccamedia.org. If you would like to purchase a DVD of today's ceremony, there are order forms on the round tables in the back of each corner. As most of you are already aware, the class of 2015 has accomplished many, many amazing things during their 4 short years at Nekoosa High School. During the past 4 years, the one thing that stands out to me more than anything else is their drive for excellence. Whether that be academics, art, athletics, chess club, FBLA, OSA, math league, music, National Honor Society, or student council, to name a few. This class has written the word excellence next to the name Nekoosa on any roadmap there is. Most notably, that excellence shined through all year long, but in this last several months and even weeks, as recent as last Wednesday, the top-ranked members of this class were actually in a dogfight for seeing who was going to have that highest spot in class rank. In fact, it wasn't until Friday morning, just before we did our rehearsal, that we were able to finally tabulate the official class rank. That's how strong the competition was. I want to talk about that, the excellence as a virtue. Excellence is doing your best, giving careful attention to every task and every relationship. Excellence is effort guided by noble purpose. It's a desire for perfection. The perfection of a seed comes in the fruit. When you practice excellence, you bring your gifts to fruition. Excellence is the key to success. This class exemplifies that word, excellence. Graduates, throughout today and beyond, continue to give yourself all the opportunities and take all the opportunities that are given you. Give your best in relationships, set noble and realistic goals. Remember, plan, 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 and practice your trade. Don't try to do everything, and most importantly, continue to develop your special gifts. At this time, I'd like to invite Jacob Thompson to the podium to give his commencement address. This honor goes to Jacob for being ranked #1 in the class of 2015. Jacob plans to attend Ripon College and pursue a double major in mathematics and physics. Prior to Jacob's presentation, I have a special award to give him. I'd like to give him the Principal's Award of Academic Excellence for maintaining a 4.0 grade point average through his 4 years here at Nekoosa High School.
have to say that the duality of this ceremony is remarkable. Here we stand on the verge of pretty much everything. From the beginning of our days, we've been primed, conditioned to believe that this is our time, and that this marks the beginning of a new chapter. And as such, we enter a world of infinite possibility. And don't get me wrong, today certainly is a day of joy, celebration, and of triumph. However, I can't help but feel that there's been too much left unsaid by far too many. I imagine that everyone here can feel the tension, the nervous anxiety in this room. So much so that it's almost palpable, really. Once we leave here today, so many of us will essentially become nothing to each other. All the nuance, the complexity, everything that makes us unique will be stripped of us. When we walk out, nearly everyone here will become nothing more than a scattered handful of memories, and a collection of JPEGs floating across the screen. And I'm not going to lie. The notion of that, it's terrifying. It truly is. And it's taken me a while to really find out why it's bothering me. And what was going to this. I'm truly, genuinely going to miss all of it. Everyone here. Because it really hurts to see you guys go. And I can imagine that there are others who feel the exact same way. So at the very least, we can do one thing to make the heartbreak more bearable. As the reality of each other's existence fades into nothingness, let's remember only the good and not the bad. Let us romanticize the color of the past and transform our memories into a work of beauty. Because when I walk out here today, I'll be nothing more than just a story in your head. One that is doomed to fail, one that's doomed to change to the finite nature of humanity. That's okay. After all, we're all stories in the end. Just make sure that our story, make sure it's a good one. Because it was the best our time with each other. And so for me, to everyone, goodbye, and goodbye, and goodbye.
Thank you, Jacob. The next four presentations will be given by Rainer Wilhorn, Benjamin Eidenschenk, Natasha Labarge, and Bridget Huffmeister. At this time, let me introduce Rainer Wilhorn. Rainer is ranked number 2 in this year's class. Rainer plans to attend the University of Wisconsin-Madison and major in biology. Rainer has also earned the Principal's Award of Academic Excellence for maintaining a 4.0 GPA throughout his 4 years here at Nekoosa High School.
In order to arrive at this point in my life, I have had the unconditional support of my family, friends, and faith. I would like to take a moment to thank a few of these people. First, I would like to thank one of the most important people in my life, my mother. Mom, thank you for instilling in me some of the greatest qualities I possess. Your kindness and compassion for others make you the greatest woman I know, and I am truly honored to call you my mother. Dad, it is my dream to be as successful as you are someday. You have shown me the value of hard work and passion through everything you do. Also, thanks for making sure I didn't become an educated idiot. Ryan, you are such a fun person to be around, and your support means the world to me. Thank you for all the crazy adventures and for providing me with a beautiful niece and nephew that I can spoil with all my heart. Randall, thank you for teaching me how to be strong. Remember when you had the great idea to have me put on a motorcycle helmet, climb into a dog kennel, and push it down the hill we live on? Well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? In all seriousness, though, you have been right by my side my entire life, and I would not be where I am today without you, so thank you. And finally, I would like to thank my sister, Dr. Samantha Zella. Samantha, you have shown me that dreams do come true. Thank you for all your scholarly advice and encouragement. It is with insurmountable certainty that I will be able to achieve great things with your guidance. Speaking of guidance, I would like to share a few words of advice today. It's been a short 4 years, but I have much to say about the experiences I have gained. We stand here today on the precipice of the future. As we take this next step in our journey through life, it is unquestionable that we will face uncertainty, failure, and self-doubt. However, it is also highly likely that we will achieve substantial successes, discover great happiness, and realize spectacular passions. It is my hope that these words of advice will help you through your darkest nights and your brightest days. That is, if you remember any of this beyond next week, which you probably won't. So with that said, here's my advice. 1, be different, stand out. I have never been afraid of being different. As a result, I have shocked many teachers, one literally, and others figuratively. Do not try to fit in just because it makes life easier. There are 7 billion people on this planet, so why would you want to be just like everyone else? You will soon realize the value of being different as you apply for jobs, mainly because people who stand out get the job. 2, don't be afraid to challenge authority. Break the rules, fight for what you believe in, ask questions, trust your own opinion. No one ever changed the world by accepting every belief, fact, or idea they were presented with. 3, focus on learning, not just your grades. It is becoming evident now that the generation trained through the teach, to the test, homogenized curriculum also lost out on opportunities to develop their gifts and talents. Yes, that is our generation. We have been taught how to pass tests and exams rather than how to really learn. This is not the fault of our school district, but instead the fault of education as a whole. So I challenge you to focus on actually learning in these next years of your life. 4, some people will hate you for being true to yourself, and others will embrace your honesty. The latter are those who are truly your allies, and the sooner you realize this, the better off you'll be. 5, when you face uncertainty, listen to that inner voice, as long as it doesn't lead to a burn. This trust in yourself is a valuable resource. Don't let it fade away when others offer their opinion. 6, in the wise words of Ellen, never follow anyone else's path. Unless you're lost in the woods and you see a path, then by all means follow that path. What I'm really trying to say is that everyone is headed in a different direction in life, and if you follow the crowd too closely, you will end up living someone else's life. Congratulations, class of 2015. Our journey has come to an end, but the plentiful memories we have made together will live on forever. With these words of advice, I wish you well in your future endeavors. And if you remember anything at all from today, please remember this single sentence. It is our failure to conform that will show us our greatest successes.
Thank you, Rader. Our next presentation will be given by Benjamin Eidenschenk. Benjamin plans to attend the University of Wisconsin-Madison and major in biochemistry, while also participating on the Badgers cross-country and track and field teams. Benjamin is ranked number 3 in his class and has a 3.995 GPA. Benjamin was recently named Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association Scholar Athlete. He is one of only 32 scholar athletes in the state. Benjamin, will you please come forward for your presentation and receive your WIA Scholar Athlete Medallion?
Hello. Congrats to our graduates. Before I commence my speech, I'd like to remind everyone why I'm here. I would be remiss in not mentioning my parents, Steve and Amy Eidenschick, who deserve to be up here even more than I do. They have been the most supportive parents I could ask for and deserve endless appreciation. Thank you, Mom and Dad. As the class of 2015 sits before me today, I can't help but remember the very start of our journey at Nekoosa High School. We were confused and frightened about the uncertainty that was about to come. Freshman year could more or less be described as a year of pure bewilderment. Bewilderment was the emotion that I experienced on first walking through the high school doors. I was immediately puzzled because of the quote inscribed above the entrance. It reads, "Through these halls walk some of the greatest people in the world." When we first walked through the doors, I couldn't imagine as to who the quote was referring to. In the process of continuing on, however, I became focused much more on what mattered, like avoiding my brother in the hallway and getting to lunch on time. When we first walked through the doors, life seemed much too large for us to ever find a place to fit in. It seemed, at the time, that we would never solve the Rubik's Cube that was high school. With each step, we had the impression that far more difficult challenges would lay just around the corner. Nevertheless, here we are. With the blink of an eye, it all changed. Somehow, we surpassed every new challenge that was brought upon us. And as I look out at my fellow graduates, I recognize that we have risen to the top. No doubt, leaving Nekoosa will be a very different and challenging experience. And as much as the future is infused with uncertainty, I still have faith in my classmates. Together, we have overcome every obstacle thrown at us. The future will only be decided by the amount of faith we have in ourselves. So, my message to the departing class is simple. As philosopher and rapper Nicki Minaj once said, "The night is still young, and so are we." So as we walk out the doors the last time, hold on to the small hope to be extraordinary. Step out of your comfort zone and remember that success isn't always warranted, but believe that it will come. Have faith and live out your wildest dreams. Throughout our time at Nekoosa High School, we have risen to astounding heights, surprised many, and made memories that will not easily be forgotten. When I look amongst my classmates in the crowd, I am filled with an amazing sense of clarity. I understand now, after a simple revelation, that the class of 2015 is made up of the greatest people in the world. Through these halls, we have walked, and after today, we will officially be high school graduates. In this bittersweet moment, there are no other words to be said than this. Congratulations to the class of 2015.
Thanks for your always awesome words of wisdom, Dad. Next, I'd like to introduce Natasha Labarge. Natasha also plans to attend the University of Wisconsin-Madison and major in business. Natasha is ranked number 4 in this year's class and earned a 3.976 GPA. Natasha, please step up for your presentation.
Before I begin, I want to thank my parents and my sister for supporting me throughout my high school career. Thank you. These past 4 years have gone by in a flurry of tests, quizzes, papers, long nights, and large cups of coffee. From late nights to early mornings, we have made it to this day, the day that the class of 2015 graduates. As we move on from today, going our separate ways into various tech schools, universities, branches of military, or workforces, there's one thing that I want you to try and remember. Albert Einstein said it best. Once you stop learning, you start dying. And I don't mean there's only one way to learn like most people think. There are many ways to learn. Whatever you're going to do in the future, you will never stop learning. My grandpa always told me that. He said that I have learned something new every day. With having celebrated his 92nd birthday a couple weeks ago, I'm going to believe him. You can learn every day, and we can continue to grow as we have been doing these last 4 years at Nekoosa High School. So with that, congratulations to the class of 2015.
Thank you, Natasha. Our final honor student presentation will be given by Bridget Huffmeister. Bridget plans to attend the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse and major in pharmacy. Bridget is ranked number 5 in this year's class and has earned a 3.971 grade point average. Bridget, please come forward.
Well, we did it. We have officially graduated high school. And while this may be the end of an amazing chapter of our lives, it is the beginning of a new one. One that will allow us to make new memories, meet new people, and start a brand new journey on our own. I'm so honored that I get to stand in front of you all and say goodbye one last time. I have met the most incredible people and had the most incredible experiences, and I'm sure all of you have as well. I would like to share a quote with you. It goes, "In life, the things that go wrong are often the very things that lead to other things going right." I believe this quote is relevant to each and every one of you because we have all made mistakes far back in the past. We have made mistakes very recently. We will most certainly make more mistakes in the future. These mistakes, however, do not all lead to bad consequences. They may lead you in an unintended direction, but unintended is not necessarily bad. I have an example of this quote, and the example is of my parents. They have no idea I'm doing this today. They made some decisions early in their lives that ultimately determined how the rest of their lives would turn out. They were married and had a kid before they even finished high school, which in today's society could be considered a mistake. Needless to say, if it were not for the decisions that they made, I would not be standing here today. Their story inspires me because of how they turned their situation around. It took my dad 16 years, all while working a full-time job, to obtain 3 different degrees, all tied to his position at Ocean Spray. And my mom homeschooled me until my junior year of high school, and my brother until his freshman year of high school, during which she proofread my dad's essays while he was still in college, all while being a stay-at-home mom. I'm so proud of my dad, and my mom is the reason that I was able to take AP Calc as a junior. They could have given up in the beginning. They could have taken the easy way out, but they didn't. I remember hearing the story of how my dad was so independent he wouldn't accept food stamps from the government early in his life, even though we probably needed it. Their life was a bit shaky at times. I was with them through all of it, but we made it. They have made me who I am today, and they have inspired me towards what I want to become in the future. Even though I don't want to be an engineer, I want to be successful in the working force with my dad. Even though I don't plan on having kids for a while, I want to be the mother who gave her kids everything she had, like my mom. My dad might not be President of the United States, But he is the most important man in my world, and my mom is the most important woman. My mother has always told me, no matter what you do, whether you become a doctor or a basket weaver, just be happy. And I intend to live by these words until the day I die, and I think you all should too. Congratulations to the class of 2015, and thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. Let's give Jacob, Rainer, Ben, Natasha, and Bridget one more round of applause for their awesome students. With us this afternoon is our district administrator, Mr. Terry Whitmore, and our school board president, Mr. Douglas Husted. Mr. Whitmore and Mr. Husted, the students seated before you have met the requirements set forth by Nekoosa High School, the School District of Nekoosa, and the State of Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. They are candidates to receive a Nekoosa High School diploma. Mr. Whitmore, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you the Nekoosa High School class of 2015 for this special honor. Will you please come forward and accept the class of 2015?
It is an honor to accept this class. On behalf of the Nekoosa School Board of Education district staff and Nekoosa community, I would like to extend another congratulations to our graduates and thank each of you here today, parents, family, and friends, for doing your part in helping our graduates successfully complete this chapter of their lives. Now, each year, in preparing for graduation, I take time out to gain perspectives on the virtues that define our senior class. Now, Mr. Comm has already talked about the virtue of excellence, and I've heard virtues woven through all the speeches. Now, virtues are the very meaning and the purpose of our lives, the content of our character, and the truest expression of who we are as people. So in asking around, I enjoy this every year, in asking around, people define your class as having and practicing many of the virtues. Folks think that your class as a whole has a great deal of assertiveness, all right, that's being positive and confident, friendliness, being a friend through both good times and bad, confidence, having faith and trusting you have what it takes to handle what happens, courage, that's bravery in the face of fear, diligence, working hard and doing your very best, loyalty, staying true to someone or something, and unity, which helps us work and live together peacefully. Now, as your district administrator, preparing to share a few words with you on your graduation day, I was drawn to share more about two virtues that I believe are most fitting for this occasion. Determination is the first one. Determination is focusing your energy on a task and sticking with it until it is finished. Determination is also doing something when it isn't easy. And many of you have had many experiences where you've come across things that haven't been easy. So with determination, we make our dreams come true. Hopefully today is one of those dreams. Graduates, with your accomplishments that have led to today's graduation, each of you have practiced determination. So to quote one of our friends, our night custodian, Mr. Peanut, around the virtue of determination, last week I was walking out of school after the awards ceremony, and as I walked out I was greeted by Peanut, who shared, Mr. Whitmore, I sure am going to miss this senior class. So as he's done in the past, he's been able to share a few thoughts. So I asked him to share in writing what he cherished most about your class. Now he wrote 4 pages of notes, so I've had to scrunch it down. So to summarize his words, he states, this class of 2015 never gives up. They could be getting beat by 20 points, but they never stop trying. In all my years, says Peanut, I have never seen so much team spirit when the teams were having a tough season. The class of 2015, he ends, really have each other's back. And I heard that theme through some of the remarks today. So I chose determination to help acknowledge you for your hard work in successfully completing your high school education. It took a great deal of determination to accomplish the multitude of requirements for graduation. The other virtue, purposefulness, is a great virtue to help guide you with a clear focus into your future. With purposefulness, you begin with a vision for what you want to accomplish and concentrate on your goals. Being purposeful requires you to do one thing at a time without scattering your energies. When you are purposeful in life, instead of letting things happen, you make things happen. You, as both individuals and a class, I know, will make things happen in this world. So in summary, graduation, the beginning of new challenges, the promise of success in the future, and the anticipation of even greater happiness. Congratulations for the diploma you've earned. You can be proud of these past years and all that you've learned. By the powers vested in me by the state of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Department of Instruction, and the Board of Nekoosa Education, I officially declare that you, the candidates about to receive your diplomas, graduates of Nekoosa High School. Mr. Khan, please call the graduates forward to receive their diplomas. Congratulations. Let's give them one more hand.
That time that we've waited for several warm minutes already. Presenting the class flower to our graduates is Mrs. Carolyn Kreider, our counseling office secretary. In addition to the special adornments that are noted in your program, I ask you to also pay special attention to Naul Segovia, who will serve our country in the United States Army, and Brandy Stewart, who is wearing with pride traditional Native American adornments to pay tribute to her Ho-Chunk way of life. Hallie Dane Anderson. Jeremy L. Anthony. Zachary J. Art. Anna Marie Austin. Colton J. Benz. Shelby L. Byer. Heaven Mariah Bills. Brandon S. Dirbus. Mackenzie Lorraine Boss. Robert E. Boleyn. Shyler M. Calhoun Larson. Cale Michael Clark. Lucas I. Collins. Brooke Victoria Syborin. Alyssa Noel Dackel. David W. Dar. Brittany M. Dillo. Benjamin J. Eidenshank. Samantha Paige Eilers. Kendra Rose Elias. Mercedes Lane Erdman. Riley Weston Erickson. Heidi Ann Evanson. Kaylee Asea Fellion. Danica Kaylee Finnup. Destiny Ray Franson. Curtis Reed Furman. Christina Ann Fuller. Marshall Paul Getzloff. Brittany Nicole Groshek. Colton Richard Hazel. Brianna Marie Hard. Andrew M. Harris. Miranda Kristen Harchie. Andrew J. Hoffmeister. Bridget Ann Hoffmeister. Sierra R. Humphrey. Hannah C. Jacobson. Courtney Lynn Jinkerson. Anna Marie Johnson. Tucker James Keenan. Dakota Ronald Kellenhofer. Kendall Patricia Kaiser. George R. Klum. Tyler Jonathan Colo. Natasha Lynn Labarge. Brianne Carolyn Leemans. Clay Arthur Lieber. Tyler Linsmeyer. Maria Veronica Lopez. Austin Lee Mathewson. Matthew Jeffrey McDonald. Amanda Marie McElroy. Benjamin Ray Melke. Hunter C. Miller. Audrey K. Moffitt. Jacob Douglas Miller. Cassie Jordan Murray. Hugh Logan O'Donnell. Sky Oligny. Selena Otero. Jacob Ronnie Patch. Aaron Joseph Peckham. Anna Marie Peterson. Colton John Pierce. Caleb Carl Reinschmidt. Adriana L. Rodriguez. Jamie Martin Sarver. Kelsey Marie Shane. Jackie Jean Schrader. United States Army Private First Class, Noel Renee Segovia, Jr. Abigail Lee Seipel. Cody R. Store. Casey J. Smith. Taylor L. Smith. Nicholas S. Spansky. Paige Ray Stanislavski. Tanner Scott Stevens. Brandy Ray Stewart. Jacob Robert Thompson. Samuel Henry Tuttle. Tracy Ann Van Meter. Rainer John Wilhorn. Let's give this class another big round of applause. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Carla Leonard. Ms. Leonard is an English teacher here at Nekoosa High School and was selected by our student graduation committee to speak to you today. Ms. Leonard, will you please come forward and share your subtlest words of wisdom?
Thank you, Mr. Palm. And thank you, class of 2015, who I refer to as my kids, for inviting me to speak today. I think you all know how much of an honor and an enormous fear today is for me. It is an honor to know that after all these years that you've had me as a teacher, you're still okay with hearing from me one last time before you leave this place. I'd like to begin with a quote that I believe truly encompasses the meaning of life. It says, "Challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful." Let me repeat that one more time, because I know how well you listen to things I say the first time. The quote says, "Challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful." Challenges are unavoidable. We've all faced them. Tons of them, from the moment we were born. And we will all continue to face challenges for the rest of our lives. Some of the challenges that we face are minor, and some of them that we face are major, life-altering challenges. What is most important in life is not the challenges that we face, but how we choose to overcome them. For most of you, today is the day that your biggest challenge really begins, as you head out into the world beyond the walls of NHS. The challenges ahead of you should be exciting. Yes, some of them will be scary, and some of them will really test your patience, emotions, and sometimes even your spirit. But with every one of these challenges you face, you're going to continue to grow. That is what is exciting. I think that challenge is a big part of why I'm standing before you today. Your class has challenged me from the moment I met most of you 6 years ago. So why wouldn't you torture me a little bit more and give me one last challenge before you head out into the real world? Plus, I've had the pleasure of challenging all of you when I taught you 1, 2, 3, or for some of you, 4 separate years throughout your education here in Nekoosa. For those of you that don't know this, the first time I taught the class of 2015 was when they were in 7th grade. I've taught for the Nekoosa School District for 8 years now. All of those years have been here at Nekoosa High School, except for 1 year that I was moved from NHS over to Alexander Middle School to teach 7th grade English. That's where I met most of the students sitting in front of me today. I can tell you without any hesitation that the students sitting here today are not the same kids I taught that year. I don't think it's any surprise to any of you that your 7th grade year, the first year that I taught most of you, was one of the most challenging years of my life. However, as I stand here today, I can honestly say that that year is also one of the most memorable years of my life, and one I will forever be grateful for. We've had a lot of challenges that year together, many of which most of you might still remember, some that stick out particularly fresh in my mind. There was the Frindle book that we read in class, along with the newspapers we created to go along with the book, and the play we got to watch together with several other schools at the Grand Theater. There was the homeroom versus homeroom track and field showdown at the end of the school year, where my homeroom made matching t-shirts for Team Little Leonards. There were the checkbooks that each student had, and they earned money each week to use on things like hall passes and auction items and other rewards. There was Friday fun, and there were gotchas. There were pretty close to weekly speeches and lectures in the hallway about respect and responsibility and keeping your hands to yourselves. There was the unfortunate day that I fainted while teaching first hour, and the entire class thought they killed me. After that day, everyone was super well behaved for at least a couple of days. And last but not least, there was the shocking pen. I know most of you remember the shocking pen. Rainer Wilhorn thought he had the best idea ever for a prank. Actually, it was a pretty good idea now that I think back on it, but I was not impressed at the time. Rainer came to me one day during class with a pen and a notebook and asked me to spell the word Appalachian. Me, being the English teacher that I am, was impressed that Rainer wanted to use such a difficult word in his writing, so I gladly grabbed the pen and paper from his hand to spell it for him. When I took the pen from Rainer's hand and clicked on the top to write with it, it gave me a pretty good jolt. It wasn't an actual pen at all, it was a joke. I don't really remember exactly what happened after that, but I think it may come close to topping the list of one of the angrier moments of my teaching career. I don't think it took too long for Rainer to realize that his prank wasn't funny at the time. The pen that I confiscated that day still sits in my top desk drawer. I was going to bring it with me today and return it to you, Rainer. However, I realized while working on what I was going to say today that I don't want to get rid of that pen. Because every time I open that drawer and I see that shocking pen sitting there, I smile, laugh to myself, and remember all of the crazy yet wonderful moments I've had with your class, a class I won't ever forget. It's just another one of the memories and challenges that we can look back on and laugh at now that your class is so much older and wiser. Beyond all the memories of that first year that I knew you, I'm grateful for having the opportunity to teach you back when I was still taller than most of you. You're no longer the rowdy and unpredictable kids that you were then. You're adults. The challenges that you faced and the 5 years between then and now has allowed each of you to mature. And as you leave here and head out into the real adult world, you'll be facing new challenges. Some exciting, some confusing, some scary. You'll be facing challenges in the upcoming years, such as deciding what you want to be when you grow up, meeting new people in new places that you'll live and visit, choosing where to live, where to work, who to marry, and essentially who you're going to be. These challenges are stressful and sometimes overwhelming, but they're also exciting. These are challenges that some of you may figure out in a year or two. And for some of you, these challenges may not come into focus until many years down the road. What I need for you to remember every day of your life is my quote from the beginning. Challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Now, I can't let you out of here without giving you one final challenge. Go out into the world and do some really awesome things. Get involved, make a difference, really, truly care and become passionate about something. Don't be afraid to be challenged or to make mistakes, because again, this is how you grow and how you learn and how you become better people. Don't be afraid to take some risks in order to achieve goals that you've set for yourselves. Those risks may lead you into some challenges along the way, but don't ever forget that challenges are good. Overcoming them in life is how you grow, it's how you change, it's how you learn. Class of 2015, wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you become in life, I want to challenge you right now to go out into the world and be awesome. I know you well enough after all these years to know you've got it in you, so make Mama Leonard proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard. I think you should probably give Rainer his pen back, because if he goes to Madison and doesn't have his pen, he'll probably get a cattle prod. At this time, I'd like the senior choir members to come forward and join the other chamber choir members as they perform their choral selection, For Good from Wicked, under the direction of Mr. William Seidel. Thank you, Chamber Choir members, Mr. Seipel, Abby, Kendall. Awesome, awesome job. We'll take just a brief time here to transition the shells out. While we're doing that, senior band members, if you'd please come forward. At this time, please focus your attention on the Nekoosa High School Band as they perform the selection, Keep the Candle Burning, under the direction of Miss Alyssa Tooley. Thank you, band members. Following another very short transition phase, I'll ask you to turn your focus to the screen behind me for a special tribute to our graduates as they were back then, and as we know them now. That video tribute will be followed by the class of 2015 lip dub. Then and Now was produced by Mrs. Jennifer Jackson, our Nekoosa High School business education teacher, and the lip dub portion was produced by senior Benjamin Melke. Dylan, will you dim the lights, please?
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
This is where the chapter ends. A new one now begins. Time has come for letting go. The hardest part is when you know all of these years when we were here are ending. But I'll always remember we have had the time of our lives. And now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. Where the water meets the land, there is shifting in the sand, like the tide that ebbs and flows. Memories will come and go. All of these years where we were here are ending, but I'll always remember we have had the time of our lives. And now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives. the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days. But if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives.
And now we'll have the first audition for the senior music video.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. Then I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger. What's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood comes first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide you away. Yeah.
After viewing that, I'm reminded of two things. One, graduates, as you take this next step, and some of you already have some youngsters, just beware of those pictures that might end up in a senior video somewhere. For that lip dub, wow, that is really this class. Thank you for that awesome production. At this time, Mr. Aaron Peckham will give a senior farewell. Aaron?
Thank you, Mr. Cohen. Good afternoon. On behalf of the graduating class of 2015, I would like to express our gratitude for all the great opportunities that we were exposed to. Our thanks must go to all the staff and faculty here in the Nekoosa School District. Thank you for giving us a safe, clean environment for which you are trying to give us something to learn. We've been privileged to attend a school with such a great education. As we make the transition into life beyond school, I am sure that that education we received will stand us in good stead time and again. I now wish to extend my thanks to all the parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts and uncles, and family friends. Thank you for all your support, motivation, inspiration, and guidance on this long journey. You have remained committed to our education, and more importantly, you have remained committed to all of us. From our first steps across the living room floor to our steps across this very stage, you have stood by our sides even when times got tough. Now, when I was asked to give this farewell speech, there was no hesitation. I was all for it. But as the week went on, I started to soon realize I had no idea what I was going to talk about. After great thought, I figured, just before we move on in our lives, why don't we take a quick look back? 2,340. The approximate number of school days we have spent since kindergarten waiting for this day to finally come. 912,515. The approximate minutes of those days we spent learning our ABCs, our colors, how to count to 100, and writing proper cursive, which quickly turned into dreary math equations, chemistry formulas, how to write a book report the day it's due, or even how to finish your online class in just 3 weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, we have learned a lot in the past 13 years. And for most of us, that journey began in Hunky. It's where we all made our first friends, some of which we still have today. Together, we experienced bike rodeos, Scarecrow Day, and bowling for bananas. Hunky was a place where we endured reading for the prizes we got in Reading Roundup, or in my case, when I started to work really hard in math just to get gifts from Miss Revin. We then moved to AMS. That was where most of us started to get involved in athletics, art, band or choir, and started to become more of an individual. We learned that it was time to start taking responsibility, but to have fun in the process. AMS was a place where we were sent to the sign for our various shenanigans during recess, or to the office conference room for when we thought it was a great idea to use pellets for spit wads. Looking back, I'm not sure what we were thinking with some of the stuff we came up with. For instance, TTB, caribou hunting, or when we all tried to fit the whole class into a tunnel slide. It was a frivolous time in our lives, but it's definitely unforgettable. Now, here at NHS, we've had some pretty remarkable memories. It's where our parents began to notice their first few gray hairs, when we got our driver's license, our first job, or went on unchaperoned dates. Then there were the times we brought smiles to their faces, and maybe even a tear or two of pride. Pride that we found in ourselves, for things I'm sure none of us will forget. The lip dub, performances in Footloose and Grease, or that music video we had just saw. How about when Sky and Christina became prom king and queen? or Austin and Nana as homecoming king and queen. We've witnessed our classmates accomplish great things, some of which athletically, like Clay, who was a state runner-up in wrestling, Ben, who brought home the gold in the state cross-country meet, and Riley, who was awarded All-State baseball just as a junior. There have been also many conference championships that we have been a part of here at our time at NHS, but not only on the field or court or mat as our talent arise, but also in the classroom. There's some very bright individuals in front of me, and I'm sure the race for the top spot wasn't easy and very stressful. So congratulations, Jacob, you earned it. Over the years here, we have learned some valuable lessons, but some of which I learned from my peers. First, Crocs are good footwear and they're pretty much good for anything. When selling merchandise on Craigslist, make sure it's yours to sell. Twitter accounts should be used under your name and not somebody else's. And an appendicitis is not particularly caused from a night of drinking. High school has taught us so much, and through it all we have become some pretty outstanding people. Now that we are no longer high school students, but graduates, take a look around. Some of us will be moving on to college, and some of us will not. However, it is very possible you could be sitting next to your doctor, your dentist, your dog's vet, your child's first teacher, the artist of that song that never stops playing on the radio, or who knows, maybe a film star will emerge from the crowd. The sky's the limit for the class of 2015. Though the road ahead may seem dusty at times, don't lose your focus. It will clear up, and when it does, keep on going. Adding to that, I'd like to read a poem that has inspired me. I personally would like to thank Jason Becker for introducing it to me just a few short years ago. The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth, and he spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that they spent on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little dash is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about it long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remember that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Today, we stand on the brink of a new chapter in our lives. Take a moment to reflect on all that we have achieved. Look back and appreciate just how far we all have come. Today is our opportunity to acknowledge our accomplishments. Wherever you find yourself, or whatever challenges you may choose to follow and explore, hold true to what shaped your yesterdays. Acknowledge and appreciate what you are today, and dare to be all you can be tomorrow. NHS, from the class of 2015, thank you and farewell.
Only from the mouth of Aaron Beckham. Awesome job, Aaron. Prior to me giving my final, subtlest words of wisdom to you, there's a couple items of business that I would like to take care of. I'd like the members of the Nekoosa Board of Education and our superintendent to stand and be recognized when their name is called. Board members, Mr. Wayne Freeman, Mr. Brian Giese, Mr. Douglas Houston, Mr. David Schmidt, Mr. Brian Mahan, and our superintendent, Mr. Terry Whitmore. Please thank them with a round of applause. Thank you, guys. The next group of individuals I'd like to extend a thank you to are those who put in countless hours behind the scenes making today happen as it has. Please stand and be recognized when your name is called. Nekoosa High School Secretary, Mrs. Deanna Bray. Nekoosa Office Clerical Assistant, Mrs. Ann Taylor. Nekoosa High School Dean of Students, Mrs. Megan Kautzer. Nekoosa High School Counselor, Mrs. Rachel Sievers. Nekoosa High School Counseling Office Secretary, Mrs. Carolyn Kreider. And our custodial staff of Steve Herzberg, Neil Jacobitz, Peanut Felch, and Patricia Stringfeld. Please give them a round of applause. This journey that all of you have taken would not be possible without all the diligent work of the staff and support staff of the school district. If you're a staff member, a support staff member, a retired support staff or staff member of this district, will you please stand? Staff, support staff, retired, present. Come on, there's more of you than that. Stand up. Be proud. Thank you. Parents, if you're a parent or a guardian of one of these wonderful young men or women in front of me here today, will you please stand and be recognized? Parents, it truly has been a wonderful experience that you've provided me to be able to share this opportunity to work these past years with your son or daughter. Without you, this day would not be possible. Thank you. Graduates, as you walk out the doors of Nekoosa High School today, don't let it be the last time. I hope all of you are as proud as I am to say I graduated from Nekoosa High School. To share in this pride, I would like all of the former graduates of Nekoosa High School and Alexander High School to please stand and share in this prideful moment. Because of you, Nekoosa High School continues to be a great place. Thank you, alumni. Seniors, graduation from Nekoosa High School today is not the end. It's a symbol of a new beginning in this journey we call life. Whatever your plans are after today, I personally am very confident that the new chapter you start to write in your book will be everything you want it to be. Approach the new journey with courage. Be brave. Don't fear anything. Do the right thing, even when it's hard or scary. Don't give up. Try new things and take new challenges. Don't be afraid to admit your mistakes. And let courage come from the strength of your heart. To you, the class of 2015, I wish you the very best as you move forward in your lives. Remember, you've crossed many roads, you've climbed many hills, and you've come a long way, but only half as far as you'll go. Thank you for being a great class. At this time, I would like the graduates to please rise, face the audience, and as a symbol of this journey being complete, move your tassels from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nekoosa High School class of 2015.